Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, how y'all doing out there, good people? Welcome to GFT Radio Show. This is your boy Clint. I'd like to introduce all the co-hosts. We got Jabril.
What up, what up?
We got Sonny.
Hey.
And we got Kingy on the line.
Good evening.
So tonight we're going to have a good discussion about what's going on in the news. One of the big things that's going on was the Charlie Sheen issue. He revealed a couple of days ago on early morning show that he was HIV positive. He's been HIV positive for 4 years. He has also had sexual partners within that time. So it was a big debate going on about whether he was informing his partners, whether but at this time, he has plenty of females that have came out and said that he did inform them of his HIV status. We had Amanda Bruce today. She was on the Dr. Oz show, and she said she dated him for like 7 to 8 months, and she knew his status. She knew it was undetected, and she was aware of the risk. So we want to know what y'all think out there, and we'll pass it on along to y'all. See what y'all think about it.
I mean, I think for me, it's stepping aside from the whole Charlie Sheen issue, and just putting myself in that position. If that was me, and I found out that someone was that I was dating was HIV positive, first of all, I think it's extremely imperative before you even get to being intimate with anybody that the two of you know each other's status, first and foremost, because HIV is something that you have to continually get tested for, and you can test negative 1 month, and you can test positive another month. If you didn't go again after that, and you just took for granted, well, we've already been tested and nothing's up, and you never went back again, and I found out that my partner was HIV positive, of course I would be upset. Of course I would go and get checked out. I don't know. I think it's one of those things where you got to be in that moment. I don't know if I would be shell-shocked and just cry about it, or if I would do something illegal. That's the first thing you think about is, oh, man, it's a death sentence. How could you do that? That's like the ultimate betrayal. I don't really know how I would react in that position. I think it's a situation where you got to be in it to know how it would happen.
I agree with that. I think it's pretty much one of those situations where you have to actually be in that. Like, a lot of people talk about things, a lot of things happen, but this is something serious where, you be out in the street somewhere and something happens and somebody be like, oh, I wish that was me, I would have did this, but you actually really don't know what you're going to do unless you're actually in that situation. And with something that, as far as that, with your health and somebody else's health, and you're talking about being sexually active with a partner who you've been with or you're trying to be with for a while and they have HIV, that's whether it's detectable, undetectable, in the back of your mind, you're always going to have that fear or that feeling that, hey, something might happen and I might be able to catch it.
I agree with that also. Sonny?
That was to me, that's a big thing to even find out about your own self. How feel in that predicament? I would want to know earlier before we even think about having sex, but I don't think that's something that people would just randomly say at the person I met you, hey, I like you, but I'm HIV positive. I think that's something that somebody has to feel comfortable enough to say to you, because if you randomly say it to random people that you like, I mean, people are, it's like a gossip social media era where if you say it to one person, they kind of say, well, did you know, blah, 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 and you might not necessarily want everyone to know. But I think if you're going to look for a relationship with someone, you should tell them that, because that's something that they need to know. That's not something that if you really intend on being involved with this person, they need to know. And I know if it was me, I would be shocked. I don't know how I would respond. I'm pretty sure I would be upset with a long list of things, but I really don't know. Like you said, unless you're in that situation, you don't know how you're going to react.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, I watched the Today Show when he made the announcement the other day, and basically he said he's known this for 4 years, but the public is just now finding out about this. I mean, there were people in his past relationships who may or may not have known about this, but what is the time frame that you are supposed to disclose something like this, whether it's to the I mean, really for us being normal people, not celebrities in the limelight, we don't have to discuss things and release this kind of information to the public, but for him to have known this for 4 years and the public just now finding this out, me personally, I think he waited too long.
Well, my thought on that per se is it's none of our business. We're not sleeping with him.
I understand.
He doesn't have to tell us anything. My concern would be is if you're being intimate with people, they need to know. Like, as the world doesn't, like, if you choose to tell the whole entire world like he did, then that's fine. But the reason he did that was because people were he said that people were blackmailing him, and he was paying people money because they were trying to exploit him and tell everybody which he wasn't comfortable. I mean, you got to look at it like this. This is something that it's a life-changing thing, and you have to process it yourself. You can't just say, oh, you find out you have AIDS one day, next day you're on the news telling everyone. You have to process it yourself because you have to understand what happens with your life, how does your life change, how do you deal with this, because that's emotionally, mentally, and it's a lot of things you have to deal with something like that. Like, that's a hard pill to swallow.
I agree with you that it really is none of our business. But at the end of the day, you know, he was still out there being promiscuous.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was still living. He was still living off his celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I think he should have announced it sooner. I think his back was against the wall as far as being extorted. Like he said, he's been extorted for over $10 million. You know what I mean? So his back was against the wall. You know what I mean? There was a reason he was paying that money. Not just because he didn't want the world to know. It's because, you know what I mean, he was still being promiscuous out there. You know what I mean? Sleeping around. Now, you know, like I said earlier, it was females that came out, you know what I mean, that said he let them know this, that, and the third, which is commendable, which is his choice and which was their choice. You know what I mean? But I think if you still living off your celebrity and you're that, you know what I mean, like he's really famous. So I think he should have, you know, the public should have had some type of warning. You know what I mean?
Now
he could have been a spokesperson for it. You feel me? It could have went a whole totally different way for him.
But saying that, you're saying he's famous, but I'm looking at it like this. All right, he's known about this for 4 years, and I think back to Charlie Sheen 4 years ago. You know, he had the show, The 2.5 Men, and he was wilding out with that. He kind of got kicked off of that. Then he was in the news mostly for negative things. I mean, he was drunk, high on all kind of drugs and everything. He had the outburst with his ex-wife over the kids, and he was sleeping and dating many different adult porn stars, and he was dating 2 of them at one time and had them living in his house, and then he went to do all these other things. Now, looking back at that was about 4 years ago and he's saying he's known this for about 4 years. Exactly. I got to kind of put that in perspective, like, did he cause this himself? Was it something that happened in those 4 years, and maybe this is why he started acting out and, you know, getting kicked off the show and all these other things that were happening in his life around that time, which was around the time he said he found out.
Yeah, I think that will be more plausible for me to understand it because, like I said, that is something you like. Thankfully I've never been in this situation, but that is a big deal, you know. So that's something, like I said, you have to process. Like even like I find out you have cancer, you have to process it. You have to understand what this means for you. You have to and then you internalize. You know, you internalize about a lot of things. Like even taking an AIDS test is scary. Well, HIV test is scary. You take the test, you freak out until you get those results. You know, you think about everything.
I mean,
so imagine if you found out. So imagine if you found out you had it. That's a lot to deal with, and for him not to justify any of his behavior, because, and I'm not one of the people that's willing to say this is his behavior. I'm not surprised. Like, I don't want to say that because I heard a lot of people say that over the thing. Are you surprised it's Charlie Sheen? It's Charlie Sheen. You could be a virgin, sleep with your first person ever, and get AIDS because they might have it and might not tell you. You know what I'm saying?
HIV.
Yeah, I'm sorry, HIV. Yeah, but
in all fairness, I think people said that they weren't surprised because of his latest behavior that he's been showing us over the last few years. I don't think it was because of any other reason than that, with him showing out and him showboating and him, you know, just having these outbursts and being on drugs and stuff. I mean, he was extremely reckless, and that's why people are saying, I'm not shocked. I mean, it's Charlie Sheen.
He celebrated that record.
Yeah, but even with that, even if he did contract HIV, you don't necessarily have to get it from having sex. You can have him from sharing needles. He was
right. Yeah, there was one of his partners said they did that.
Yeah, so it's like I just feel bad for him. I don't like, even if he's the worst person ever, that sucks. Like, that's so hard. I wouldn't wish that on my worst.
Okay, now let me pose a question to the listeners and to y'all as well. Now, if you're about to have sex with someone and they told you they were HIV positive, but the virus is undetected, would you still have protected sex with them? I mean, if anybody listening out there, give us a call. Call in. I mean, reach us on our blog at gftradioshow.com.
Call-in number is 657-383-1155. Call us in and tell us what would be your answer to that question.
Me personally, I mean, I want to take a shot at it first. I know we keep saying we don't know unless we were in that type of position, but I think just knowing me, I wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? I think I'd be a little bit too scared.
I'd be terrified.
I'd be terrified. Even, you know what I mean? Even, you know, if you tell me undetected, you show me the paperwork, I could go talk to your doctor, whatever. You know what I mean? At the back of my mind, in the back of my mind, I'm going to be thinking that, yo, she got that package. You feel me? You know what I mean? It's in her system still. You know what I mean? Even though they can't detect it, she had it. You know what I mean? What if I get it? You feel me? Now, that may be a little, I don't know, insensitive or ignorant to some folks. You know what I mean? But for me, you know what I mean, I don't think I could take that chance.
I understand. I can't, like I said, it's one of those situations that you have to actually be in. I'm not going to say, me personally, I probably wouldn't. But then again, I think about it. I look at it like this. There's probably people that you know that have it, people that you know that have it that you don't know that they have it.
Yeah.
Or people who have it who take a look at this. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson was diagnosed with HIV more than 20 years ago. You're going to tell me Magic Johnson hasn't had sex in the last 20 years?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody who slept with Magic Johnson knowing that he's had HIV.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed back in the 90s.
Well, his wife did, and they had a baby, and both of them came back negative. So we know that he's had sex since his diagnosis.
Yeah. I mean, I know someone I went to school with that has, she has no problem with telling you. She's had kids after. I've known people that have dated her. I mean, I personally, like I said, I don't know how I would react if I was really in this situation, but me personally, I don't think that I can put myself at risk for that. You know, I wouldn't, like, I love you. Like, especially if I like you, I'm like, you know what, I understand, but I can't, you have to understand, I can't put myself in that situation.
I'm going to be honest. Because it's more than just, you know what I mean? It's more than just being scared of catching the virus. You feel me? I'm going to man up and say it's also about the stigma that comes along with it. Now, I mean, you know, perception is everything. So I know in the back of my mind also I'm going to be thinking, like, what are other people thinking about me if I'm with her and they know that she had HIV. You know, even though if it's undetected or not, I don't want to be attached to that.
Yeah.
Now, I don't want my name attached to that. You feel me? That has nothing. I mean, it has something to do with the sex, but at the end of the day, me and her could not be having sex, and we could just be getting to know each other, or we could be in a relationship, taking our time, but still, I don't know if I'm secure enough at this point in my life to be attached to that. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Well, I have a question.
I admit that.
Wait a minute, before you answer that, let me answer my part on that. I am never going to be secure enough to be attached to something like that. It is never going to happen. There is no way that sex is a part of a healthy relationship, period, point blank. There's just no way that I could be intimate with someone knowing that without me constantly feeling like I'm on edge. Like, I don't, like, what if this is a time where, you know, or you kissing somebody, or you got to make sure that you're looking at them different. I got to make sure there's no open cuts. I got to make sure that I don't do this, I don't do that. Now, you walking on eggshells, and the entire relationship is just uncomfortable, even being well-educated on the virus itself. At least I consider myself to be. You know, not just listening to what other people, you know, say and things like that. I've done enough research on it where I understand exactly what it is, how you get it, you know, and et cetera, et cetera. However, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. Of course, you think about what someone else would think, but more importantly, it's like, I couldn't be comfortable. How can somebody be comfortable with that would be my question, knowing that, and you have to always be so careful with everything you do. Virtually everything. I mean, anything that's physical.
Yeah, that's a deep one for me. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, it's. I mean, that's a hard pill to swallow. But as you say, like some people, I guess they educate themselves and they feel like they're confident enough that they're at that point where they're okay with that. They know the precautions, so they take them. But like you said, Kenya, I would be on the edge as well because, I mean, I look at it like this. Not outside of myself. I have kids. I want to be here for them. And when you have that breaks down your immune system and every little thing, like basically, and that's the sad part because once you contract HIV, everyone else is a danger to you. Someone has a mild cough. You can get sicker than what they are, and it could cause you to die because your body is not strong enough to fight off. Your immune system is not strong enough to fight off that common cold. So it becomes, even if you have it, you have to be cautious every day that you go out. You got to be cautious of who you're around. Like you have to, like it's a whole lifestyle change, and that's a lot. And you have to think about that. Do I want to expose myself to that? No. So you mind yourself and you protect yourself against things like that. But that, like I said, I'm with you, Ray. I don't think that I could knowingly walk myself into that because that's basically signing myself up to die in an unexpected time, depending on if I get sick enough that my body can't fight it off.
Okay, so what about Clinton's other question? What if you were with somebody in a long-term relationship?
And you find out they have it?
Some years, and you find out they have it, would you leave?
Well, first of all, you done cheated on me. That's the only way you can got it, especially if I'm clean. So,
no, but I mean, what if they had it before you and never told you? Okay, so it wouldn't really be cheating.
Well, you cheated me. You know what I mean? You may have not cheated. Yeah, you may have not cheated on me, but you cheated me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, I mean, you cheated me out of making my own decision and making my own choice.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Either way, you feel me? That relationship dissolves. For me personally, I'm speaking for me. That relationship dissolves immediately. You know what I mean? Because you done lied. The foundation, we don't have no foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now you just hit me with the shock of my life. You know what I mean? Talking about you got HIV. Now, if we had sex, now I'm sitting here like, hold on. You feel me? You didn't care. You didn't care. You really don't care for me.
Yeah.
First of all, you were being selfish. Now, if we didn't have sex and say we was just together, you know, people be in relationships, they don't necessarily have to have sex in the beginning. You feel me? So, say we were together, know what I mean, and then when that time comes, you tell me. So I'm like, I'm gonna feel some type of way then too, because now I feel like we wasted time. Know what I mean? We wasted energy. All this should have been told up front in the beginning, so I could make my own decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like I was saying, like now, when does that topic of like you're not going to go out on a first date with somebody that you're just now getting to know and just be like, oh, you know, I like movies and walks and hanging out and I have HIV and I like seafood and like when does this come up? Like people with this don't just come out on the first date and tell you. They have to be comfortable with you and know that this is going to go somewhere before they reveal that that's something very big and personal. So when does that?
When we start catching feelings, like everybody know when they dealing with talking to somebody, that moment when you feel me, something spark, you know what I mean, and there's feelings there, there's emotion there. I think that's the time before, because right then you on the edge. You feel me? You about to jump off that cliff. Let me know before I jump off that cliff.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's how I see
it. That's like if a guy slept with your cousin. You be like, oh yeah, by the way, before we get serious, you thought I slept with your cousin. Okay, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Thank you for saving me from myself. Like, you know, like, I mean, I mean, that's a little bit more serious, but you like Clint said, you have, like I said, don't think the first date, like you jumped in a conversation like Jabril had pointed out, but when you feel like it's getting to that point and you like the feelings are there and it's getting a little bit more close, you need to let that person know. And then it's never going to be, how you start the conversation off is never going to be good. They probably, you have to understand that they might not accept what you say. They might, you know what, back up, and you have to understand that that's their choice.
Take that back. I lied. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I lied. I want to know. I want to know immediately because listen. Personally, like say I found out I got it. You know what I mean? And I'm somewhere, and I meet a female, and she digging me, and I'm digging her. I gotta let her know up front. You feel me? Because not only I don't want to play with her emotions, I don't need mine messed with because I'm already going through enough. Like Sarita said earlier, you know what I mean? The person who has it, you know what I mean? They have it. You feel me? That pressure is on them. They got to live with that for the rest of their life as well. So if I know I got to live with this for the rest of my life, you know what I mean? I don't have time to waste time.
Yeah. I
don't have time to waste your time nor my time. So right from the door, like, listen, this is what it is, sweetheart. Know what I mean? I tested positive. You feel me? You got that information. Do with it what you want.
Let me ask you a question, Clint. I don't want to be all personal and everything, but say you meet a girl and you know you're talking to her and you say you want to know immediately. Like, is that one of the first things you ask her? Like, you know, you get to know her name, you know, let me get your number. You start hitting her up, texting back and forth, calling back and forth, talking back and forth, whatever you got to do.
Nah. I'm not going. That's not going to be the first question I ask her or the first couple of questions because you know it's still a filling out process.
Well, I had a friend who took this guy on a date and took him to Planned Parenthood.
Yo, that's a date.
That was her first date. No, that was her first date. Let's go to Planned Parenthood. I said, what? First date? That's how you doing it?
I got no problem with that. At all. And be clear, I'm not trying to sleep with you tonight, brother. I just need to know that you clean.
No, and she said that. She said because she basically said, listen, I don't like to use condoms, so I need to know. And the first date, we at the clinic. Let's get paperwork done.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that's what they did. I mean, they didn't have sex that night, but she wanted to know because she really liked him. And I guess they talked here and there. But their first date was, let's go to Planned Parenthood.
I mean,
how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that if a female pick you up and take you to Planned Parenthood first date?
That's a shock at first, but I mean, I would be kind of glad, but it still comes as a shock. Like, yo, really, this is what we're doing for the first date. Like, that's something that comes around.
So if you date Kenya, the first date, y'all going to Planned Parenthood.
Yep. I think that got to be discussed beforehand. If you tell me that's
what
you
don't need no discussion. You don't need no discussion. You don't need no preparation. Just sit down and let this lady get to the blood right quick.
But guess what? Now I'm looking at you sideways.
Why?
Now, why your first date got to be Planned Parenthood? Like, what are you doing? You're that promiscuous. No. I'm just saying. If she take me...
Didn't you just say you ain't got no time to wait? You want to know? I know. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, but we ain't. You know what I mean? But that's a deal breaker from the door for me. because you feel me? That's a deal breaker.
You don't want to know up front and then say, nah, you can't do it like that. Just tell me. You want to know.
I want to know. So if you tell me, deal breaker. If you take me to Planned Parenthood, deal breaker. Because from the door, I'm like, all right, she already put it.
You like, I want to know. But when you tell me, you cut off. Like, that's crazy.
What you mean? How's that crazy? You just said yourself that you don't want to put yourself in that position.
Right, but you said, no. Listen, Chad. I ain't got no problem with a first date at the doctor.
But what if you find out they're HIV positive?
Well, then we going to dab it up. I'm be like, listen, be safe out here.
Deal breaker. Deal breaker.
But at least I know. And I most certainly want anybody who's talking to me or interested in me to know that I'm good.
True.
I want them to have that peace of mind, but I sure enough need to have it myself.
So next time we get these,
personally, I would make it. I would tell somebody beforehand. I wouldn't just pick them up and be like, "Hey, let's go out," and then we end up in front of like that's. I wouldn't do that. To me, that's just crazy. Like, what are you doing? What's going on here? I wouldn't do that, but I would definitely be like, yeah. So or would you be opposed to getting tested? I would say that beforehand. I would.
Oh yeah, I ain't got no problem with that.
Next time we check these dating sites out, we gonna ask them.
Okay, no, I have a question. Now. Okay, well we got 2 minutes left of the show, but I just want to say this. Okay, so what if? Oh my God, my question just went out of my brain. Damn it, never mind.
Well, I just want to say to everybody out there. Now, I mean, the moral of the story is know your status. You feel me? Don't be walking around here ignorant. That's the moral of the story. And then don't, you putting a gun to a person's head and putting one bullet in the chamber and spinning it if you don't tell them what's going on from the door. Don't play Russian roulette with somebody's life. Don't play Russian roulette with your life. To me, that's the moral of the story. Get tested, know your status, know your partner's status. You feel me? And let's move forward like that.
Good point. World AIDS Day is coming up December 1st. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Hold on, y'all.
Exactly. World AIDS Day coming up December 1st. Everybody should know their status.
Yes. And they have the little pop-up vans. I know in our city you got a pop-up van. You can get in there, take it. You can go to your local hospital, get a test, a rapid HIV test, get it done. There's no excuse. There's absolutely no excuse. And they have the home test. You could go onto the CDC website, order the home test, take it yourself.
You can go to CVS and pick one of them up. Or
the local CVS, your local Rite Aid, Walgreens, we got them all. Y'all know. Wherever you live at, you got a pharmacy, pick up a test, take it, and know your status. And the best sex is safe sex, use condoms. Because it's not just HIV or AIDS out there. It's a whole lot of other STDs out there. Save yourself. Anybody else? I had a question.
They at the clinic. Just go ahead over it.
Yeah, first day clinic. Some of y'all for that. High five. Terrible.
Be honest.
You can take them to get a test and a chicken box all in the same night.
Be honest with yourself and be honest with the, know what I mean, the individual you're trying to engage with, because you feel me, life's too short to be playing games with people's lives out here. You know what I mean? And to be playing games with your life.
So your life can be spent for playing games out here. Don't risk your life.
Yes, because and also there is, in some states, they do have a law that if you knowingly have HIV or AIDS and you knowingly have sex with someone unprotected, you could be charged with, manslaughter, or, let me look it up so I can say my words right.
Yeah,
it depends on the state.
It depends on the states. That they have, some states have laws
that it is illegal for you not to inform your sexual partner that you are diagnosed with the HIV or AIDS.
So Kenya basically saying there's no Netflix and chill unless y'all go to Planned Parenthood, huh?
Yeah, we about to plan and chill. That's what's going to come out.
Okay, so at least 35 states have criminal laws that punish HIV-positive people for exposing others to the virus, even if they are taking precautions such as using condoms. So pretty much almost the entire United States with if I can look at these, I got to remember my states from back in the day. But is it red the one? Let me say a second. I think the red ones are. Yeah. So it's Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Jersey. Yes, New Jersey is on the list. North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, one of them, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota.
If you look up your own state, you need to know. If you got it, it's a crime.
And it's a felony charge, so get your lives together. You will be in jail for doing things like that. It's serious. So
we want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and listening to us and sending in your questions and commenting on the posts and the blogs and everything. And we will definitely check back with you guys. Remember to go get tested. You do not have to wait for World AIDS Day on December 1st. You can go anytime. But we will see you guys again back here, same place, same time, on December 3rd. Happy Thanksgiving, and we'll see you guys then. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.
All right, hold on.